Chapter 3. In this section, you will learn the importance of inspecting foods before accepting delivery, what to look for when inspecting food deliveries. When a restaurant receives a food delivery, there are several requirements that must be met. In order for food to remain safe, it has to arrive safe. The receiving station is your first, last, and only chance to catch unsafe foods before it ends up in your kitchen. Before accepting delivery, look at the storage area of the delivery truck. Is it clean? Reject products past their expiration date or will be past their expiration date before they can be used. Look for signs of spoilage, which will be described later in this section. Look for signs of physical contamination, foreign objects accidentally introduced into the food. Watch for damaged or already opened containers. Measure food temperatures and reject foods that are not at their appropriate temperature. Besides the risk of foodborne illness, accepting unsafe foods is costly to your employer, who will be stuck paying for something that has to be thrown out. Another thing to look out for are signs that the food has been out of temperature earlier. For example, large ice crystals are a sign of frozen food that's been thawed and then refrozen. In order to keep delivered foods safe, it is important to maintain a clean, uncluttered, brightly lighted delivery station. Move delivered foods immediately to proper storage. Don't let them sit in the temperature danger zone, 41 degrees to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Tell your supervisor if you feel too rushed to make an adequate inspection. Another important way to keep food safe and obey the law is only use food that comes from sources approved by the health department. Look for USDA on meats. Look for pasteurized on milk. Look for certification tags on packages of shellfish and safe for 90 days. Canned foods, fresh foods, egg and dairy products must come from companies, brokers, or dairies that have been licensed and inspected. Ready-to-eat foods need to be inspected, just as fresh foods would. Ready-to-eat food refers to any food that is edible without further washing or cooking. Ready-to-eat food includes washed, whole, or cut fruit and vegetables, deli meats, and bakery items. Sugars, spices, and properly cooked food items are also considered ready-to-eat. A few more tips to keep in mind when trying to keep food safe are: store each food at its proper temperature. If you take it out to use it, return it promptly to its correct place. Store food in clean wrappers or securely closed containers. Do not store foods on the floor or against walls. Avoid overloading shelves. In the refrigerator, store raw foods below ready-to-eat foods. In fact, keep them as far apart as possible. Arrange food so that the product that came in first is used first, also known as FIFO, first in, first out. In dry storage, keep products away from sunlight, pipes, and refrigeration lines. Keep storage areas, racks, trays, and carts clean and dry. Onions and other strong odor foods should be kept away from eggs and dairy products. Liquid eggs should always be refrigerated. Refrigerate dry goods once they are mixed with liquids. Refrigerators are required to be kept at 41 degrees Fahrenheit or colder, keeping food safe by slowing the growth of bacteria. Inspecting meats. Accept beef, bright red in color. Temperature 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. Firm texture springs back to the touch. Reject beef with bad color, brown or green looking, purple blotches, green, white, or black spots. Bad texture, sticky, slimy, or dry. Objectionable odor. Damaged or dirty packaging. Pork. Accept pork, pink and lean in color. White fat. Temperature 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. Firm texture springs back to the touch. Reject pork with bad color, brown or green looking, purple blotches, green, white, or black spots. Bad texture, sticky, slimy, or dry. Objectionable odor. Damaged or dirty packaging. Lamb. Accept lamb, light red in color. Temperature 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. Firm texture springs back to the touch. Reject lamb with bad color, brown or green looking, purple blotches, green, white, or black spots. Bad texture, sticky, slimy, or dry. Objectionable odor. Damaged or dirty packaging. Poultry. Accept poultry, temperature 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. Fresh, even coloration. Firm, springy texture. Reject poultry with purple or green color. Greenish discoloration at the neck. Dark wingtips. Soft texture, stickiness under wings and joints. Objectionable odor. Damaged or dirty packaging. Inspecting produce. Fresh fruits and vegetables should not show mold, spoilage, or insects. To prevent bruising or contamination, avoid squeezing or handling whenever possible. What to check for when inspecting dairy. That the temperature is 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, always checked by a thermometer. Always within expiration date. And that the packaging is clean and undamaged. Milk products. Milk. Make sure it is pasteurized, grade A milk. Cheese. Be sure the rind wax wrapping is clean and intact, and also acceptable flavor and texture. Butter. Be sure there's no objectionable odor, and any sign of mold or dirt is absent. Egg products. Shell eggs. Check to make sure eggs are delivered refrigerated. Immediately placed in refrigerated equipment that maintains food at 41 degrees Fahrenheit or less. That shells are clean, unbroken, free of cracks or checks. And that they are grade AA or A eggs, and cartons display the USDA logo. Make sure liquid eggs are a temperature of 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, within expiration date, and that the packaging is intact. Frozen eggs should be kept at a temperature of 0 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, are within expiration date, and the packaging is intact. Dry eggs should be within expiration date with the packaging intact. Inspecting seafood. Fish. Accept fish with a temperature of 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, packed in self-draining ice, with fresh odor that is not fishy, with clear, bright eyes, and firm textured flesh that's springy to the touch. Reject fish, which gills are dry and gray or grayish green, cloudy sunken eyes or red bordered eyes, soft flesh that does not spring back when touched, objectionable ammonia-like odor. Crustaceans. Accept crustaceans with a temperature of 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower for live product, or 0 degrees Fahrenheit for frozen, alive at delivery. Hard, heavy shell on lobsters. And accept crustaceans with fresh odor. Reject crustaceans whose shells are soft and strong objectionable odor. Shellfish. Accept shellfish with a temperature of 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower for live product, or 0 degrees Fahrenheit for frozen. Shells that are tightly closed, and the product is alive, with fresh odor, and shipped with shell stock tag containing delivery information. Reject shells that are open and will not close when tapped, a sign that the clam or oyster is dead, and with strong objectionable odor. Frozen foods. Accept frozen foods with a temperature of 0 degrees Fahrenheit or below, ice cream 6 degrees to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Reject frozen foods with cartons that are distorted, misshapen, or damaged, with product surrounded by large ice crystals, with cartons containing fluid or frozen liquid. Modified atmosphere packaged foods. Accept modified atmosphere packaged foods with correct temperature as listed on the package. Reject with flawed or damaged packaging, or product beyond expiration date. Canned foods. Reject canned foods with missing labels or rust, swelled tops or bottoms, leaks, dents or flaws, especially on seams. Vacuum sealed foods. Accept vacuum sealed foods with correct temperature as listed on the package. Reject vacuum sealed foods with flawed or damaged packaging, or a product that is beyond expiration date. Dry goods. Reject dry goods with torn, damp, or damaged packaging or insect-infested product.